Alright, time now is 9:20 a.m. on March 15th. Oh my god. Okay, so I slept from 4:15 to 8:40. And then I went back to bed and woke up at 9:10. Okay, yeah. So I'm sleepy as hell. This is even less sleep than yesterday, even though I immediately fell asleep. And I had a good sleep. I didn't wake up in the middle or anything. That's not barely enough. So, yeah. Thank God tomorrow's flex day. Because I can just sleep in tomorrow. I can just doze off tomorrow. But yeah, that's that. So today is a Wednesday, which means that I'm going to go to Photo 1 class. But interesting things will continue after that. After Photo 1 class, I'm going to actually go to a Asian Pacific Islander Club first meeting, which is insane. I usually don't do things like this. I usually don't randomly join club meetings in person alone without any backup. Walk into a room full of strangers. I hate doing that kind of shit. But you know what? I am feeling like adventuring. I am feeling like taking risks. So I'm gonna do that, actually. Fuck it. Another thing is, okay, so after that meeting, which is probably gonna last until about 2 p.m., I'm gonna come back home, eat a quick lunch. I'll rest up a little bit, and then at around 6, I'm gonna have to leave again. Why? Because I'm going all the way to Cinemark to watch Demon Slayer. So that's that. I'll be watching the new Demon Slayer movie. I'm gonna spend about $12 watching it. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Demon Slayer, gonna come back home, and that's the plan for today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I'm so happy tomorrow is like a flex day, so I get to sleep. But yeah, I'm definitely super excited for Friday. It's a huge day. This Friday will be a huge revelation of the plot, and yeah, I shall go. I don't know, man. Leslie, there are like different types of people. There are types of people where you know who they are, and then every other rumor you've heard of, you will hear about them also line up with that. And then there are people who is the opposite of that. And Leslie is like the latter almost. Which is very interesting. But yeah, we'll see. Also, I'm actually thinking, if I want to go to my first party ever, of course I'm not going to go with Pepper because my relationship with her is already broken and shattered all over the ground. And Potter's not interested in this shit anymore. If I want to find other Hong Kongers and build a whole ass relationship with them, and stuff, it's gonna take months, right? Just think how long it took for me to build a relationship with Pepper. I and Pepper's relationship, like, I think by the end of October, I and Pepper are really close. How long did it take? I first met Pepper in mid-February. It took 8 months. Though to be fair, we were hindered because of Thomas, because we couldn't talk to each other because of Thomas. When in reality, let's say it's about 1.5 months. Yeah, I just need to find other Hong Kongers so bad, and for a different reason now. Like I can survive without Hong Kongers. Back in round one, I have to look for other Hong Kongers to survive. Now I just have ulterior motives, you know. But yeah, that's that. There was something I was gonna say, but I really forgot. So, yeah. Okie dokie. So time now is 12:46. I'm about 14 minutes later. The Asian Pacific Islander Club meeting will start over there. And photo one just ended. The Aiden, the hidden Hong Konger, didn't show up, unfortunately, once again. I don't know why. I was really hoping that he would show up, but I instead socialized with the Chinese guy a lot. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Really don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Pretty sure that's the spot. Time now is 3:01 p.m. My air vent is on, of course, because why not? I just came back home, washed my face and washed my hair, and I'm preparing lunch as we speak. Yeah, let's quickly talk about what happened today during photo one and the Asian Pacific Islander Association club meeting, the first one in the history of this entire college. So, yeah, photo one was a little underwhelming maybe because Aiden, the hidden Hong Konger, did not show up again. But the cool thing is I am not late this time. In fact, I'm early by like 15 minutes. A blonde Korean girl showed up. A couple others showed up. I'm like the fourth one to enter the classroom. And today we didn't really do much. We tried to, for the entirety of the class, we basically brought our cameras with us, went to the other side of the building, and took photos on the second floor using diffuse lights coming from the window behind us, reflecting off of the wall, stuff like that, backlit, whatever, playing around with light. Portraits, that's today's thing. And yeah, the Chinese guy is sticking close to me, as expected. I feel a little bad for him because his English is not good and he's constantly holding up his phone using Google Translate or some sort of app to record all the English words and then have them translated into Chinese live, which is kind of sad. So he constantly spoke to me in Mandarin, and I tried my very best. And I am surprisingly not that bad in Mandarin. And then, of course, I also stuck with Trevor, and we took photos together, and it was sort of just okay. Again, there are fewer and fewer Koreans. It's just those three. I don't know where are the others. Just people are going missing. Even the professor himself was like, oh, like, we're missing 20 people or something. But yeah, we finished the class, and it felt like nothing. I left with the Chinese guy. He spoke to me more. He asked me if I have like WeChat, and I said no. I asked him if he has Instagram, and he said no, he hasn't downloaded it yet. So at the end, he's like, oh, you have WhatsApp, right? And I'm like, yeah. So we exchanged numbers, but I actually do have WeChat, and I can't wait to delete that fucking app. But yeah, he talked about how like what got me into making movies, and I said, oh, I've been watching movies since I was young, and my parents are actors, and they're like, oh, interesting. So do you watch Hong Kong movies when you were young? And I'm like, no, actually, I spend my childhood watching American films. Okie dokie. It's lunchtime, boys. How do I do this with one hand? But yeah, I said I actually grew up watching a lot of American films, and he's like, oh, um, I watch a lot of Chinese films, and they're all really bad because they all have morals of the story, and they all prioritize that over entertainment value, so they're all really boring, and I find that very funny. Okay, ooh, this sandwich is like 2 weeks old or something. It should be okay. This is the soup. Cream of mushroom garlic soup. Oh wow, this is heavy. Ooh, hot. But yeah, it's so funny. So, he left. And then I stood outside the Human and Social Science Center for about 15 minutes and waited for the next thing to come. But yeah, I really hate joining clubs and shit like this because it's really something I will never do, and it's so embarrassing. Like if I go there and I don't know anyone. I was low-key hoping that someone I know would show up, and even if it's someone I don't know, hopefully a Hong Konger would show up, maybe another East Asian, Japanese, Korean, I don't know. But yeah, I entered the classroom, and surprisingly, there are a lot of people who showed up. I think like almost 30 people showed up. Like there were so many people. I think around 25, 26-ish people. And they're mostly Filipinos. There are like 3 people from Myanmar. One is born and raised here in LA and looks like a Mexican. Looks like a Latino. You will never realize that he is Burmese. The other 2 looks really Burmese. And then there are like 7 Filipinos here. And then there's one Singaporean girl behind me. Funny. And then that's it. Not a lot of East Asians. And then there are 3 supervisors, like 3 professors, adults here. And it was actually 100 times, a million times better than whatever shit I and Thomas are doing in script writing club. And of course there are awkward moments. We had to do self-introduction. So I introduced myself. I was like, hi, I'm Enoch. I'm a film major. I'm not shy at all. Damn, I've come so far. I've come so far in life. Yeah, I wasn't shy at all or anything. But I was also very quiet. I just sat down and observed. I felt like a fucking veteran because this club was originally Hong Kong Student Association. And so me showing up is like ooh, this guy is like from the olden days. I'm in my 3rd year. And I also run a club, script writing club. So I'm just sitting there like a veteran, like a silent observer. And then we just went on and we all sat down, and the club president, a woman who is like half Taiwanese or just Taiwanese American, who acts so fucking un-Taiwanese because apparently her parents are super against China, and her parents told her to not make any Chinese friends, and no, you're not Chinese, you're Taiwanese, and she says it in a way she's probably disagreeing. Fine, different political opinions, okay. But she said things like, oh, a lot of people who identify as Asians feel really isolated on this campus. I just thought we could all group together. That's such an Asian American thing to say, and it's so un-Asian thing, because if you're really Asian, you would really see it like, oh, we're all different. Southeast Asians, East Asians are different among each other. Like, we're all so different from each other. And we don't need to band together and like speak up and fight against anything because we just can't. So that's very un-Asian of her. It's just so funny. But yeah, the guy sitting next to me is a short dude with flat hair and a little facial hair in his chin, and he's breathing and he acts like he can't get a control of himself, and he raises hands and he's like, guys, I'm overdosing on vitamin C gummies. I ate like 20 of them and I'm like dying, and the only thing that's keeping me from dying is this thing, which is an orange juice from McDonald's. And he said his name is Nathan, and I'm like, oh, it's him. He is the guy who restarted Hong Kong Student Association. So even though I don't know a single soul in that room, including him, at least I have an idea who he is. So near the end of the meeting, I spoke to the guy, and he started saying weird things like, oh yeah, I started the association because a lot of people wanted to speak Cantonese, and they hate Mandarin, and like if you speak Mandarin, then just go to the Chinese Student Association. And then he started talking to me about how 3 years ago he changed his life. You just gotta do it, take a leap of faith, and you just gotta have the courage and the power. And at that point, I've completely lost him. I don't know what is he on about. And he's also kind of like, because the other two guys were from Myanmar, so he's like, yo, how's Myanmar going? I heard it's like shit right now. And then the two Myanmar guys are like, oh, that's why we're here. And then the guy sitting behind Nathan, who is overdosing on vitamin C gummies, is a pretty well-spoken Taiwanese American dude, whom I have seen before, or I've known. Not someone I know, but someone I know of, because he was in the original Hong Kong Student Association, and we exchanged IGs. So that's really interesting. So at least there's that. So yeah, even though I don't know a single soul, I got to eat a donut, which is so mid. It's not even donut, it's like cake shaped. It's like donut shaped cake, and it's so crumbly and it fell all over the place. And I ate it very slow, but I was also really hungry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I socialized with the two Myanmar guys a little bit as well. Basic shit, like what's your year, or what's your major. And then that's it. I don't expect to come back ever again. Or maybe I will if something interesting comes up. But when I left the building, I ran into none other than Vietnamese girl Bree. Because the entire college only has one person with that sort of hairstyle. And so I'm like, Bree, and she turned around, she's like, oh, hey. And I said, so will you come to the table read on Friday? She said, no, I will be out of town. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I laughed and I said, oh, it's crazy what they're doing to us. And she laughed. So hey, at least I'm building relationships. And then, of course, the train doesn't stop. I was walking to the bus stop, and then I ran into Potter with his camera. Turns out he's going to his photo class, like a lighting class. And he's teamed up with this white American guy who was from the military or something, who's on like a bike, and that guy is like behind me, and Potter's like, oh, gotta go to class. So yeah, that's that. Gotta have dinner now. Soup, sandwiches, more portos. Alright, I'm heading to watch Demon Slayer now, and I checked how expensive it is. Turns out it's like $14.50 per movie ticket. What the fuck? Why is it so expensive? Because usually Cinemark is cheaper. Usually it's $11, $12. And I checked the alternative. I checked AMC. Apparently, AMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. the movie ticket is $12.80. That's about $2 of a difference. How the hell is AMC cheaper? So I thought to myself, you know what? Given that I'm free tomorrow afternoon, and I don't want to go tonight, why not just go tomorrow? But then you know what? Fuck it. That's gonna ruin my plan. I want to go tonight because I wanted to finish watching a movie today, so that tomorrow I could do mini movie review. Another thing is, I don't want to wake up early tomorrow, so yeah. Alright, we are here again. $14.50 just to watch Demon Slayer. Let's do it. There we go. I thought the machine didn't work, the self-buying machine, but then it worked again. I told the ticket guy, oh well, now I have like 20 minutes to kill. It's 6:39, the movie begins at 6:45, but even if I go in at 6:45, I'll have to sit through 25 minutes of ads. Just finished watching the movie. I just checked my transit app. Apparently I have to wait for 44 fucking minutes for the next bus ride. So I'm gonna get home and cook myself dinner at 10 fucking p.m. Actually 10:30 maybe. So that's great. I'm just gonna sit here, stare blankly at the air and starve to death. Thank you, Los Angeles. Alright. Here I'm trying for the first time pollo asada from Ralph's. I cooked this chicken breast for so long, just so that it's cooked all the way through. It's definitely more flavorful. Okay, here is sun-dried tomatoes spaghetti, which I've also never tried. I've never tried this sauce. This sauce is actually really thick. I like that. Alright, time now is 12:46. Let's drink some cherry Fanta. Strawberry. I'm so fucking sleep deprived. Like, you don't really know how tired you are until it hits you and you realize that a lot of things you want to do, such as running or walking or even thinking, feels fatigued. It takes a lot of energy. Like right now, me trying to form full sentences and walking around takes more energy than usual, actually. But yeah, here goes the second half of the day. I really struggled with whether I should watch the movie tomorrow at AMC Century City or tonight, but I ended up going tonight. And was it a great decision? I don't know, because I spent a whole hour, almost a whole hour on the bus, plus waiting at the cinema after buying the ticket. And then after watching the movie, which was very mid, which is not even mid, it was just a waste of time because a lot of it is recap. And I did expect that going in, but yeah, I really did get what I thought I would be getting. Just a lot of recap. To add salt to injury, I had to wait 44 minutes for the bus to go home, and then I had to take that bus ride, which took a long time. I didn't start cooking until 10 something p.m. And around that time, Michelle was telling me more drama, more updates, more tea, more insanity. And I'm just too tired to react to it at all. But there are some key things to really talk about. So Michelle and Betsy had a phone call again, and they talked about how dire the situation has become. Because again, Friday we're gonna have a table read for film 33, and this implies that Kuchio is using his own script, which means that he's going to be a dictator. And dictatorship is not good, especially given the fact that we paid our tuition so that we would have the freedom to learn, not to follow rules that are unnecessary. Michelle told me that Betsy came up with an evil plan, and that is to plant the seed of a protest. And the seed is going to be planted on none other than Benny. Because Benny is a very charismatic guy who can get people to rally together. So if I somehow influence Benny to think that we should all protest Kuchio by not showing up on Friday to the table read, that it's going to make an impact. Now, I think Michelle and Betsy are really powerful people, and they've definitely seen shit before. And maybe I'm tired, and I'm clouded by my judgment is clouded by my tiredness. But that is not definitely how it works. This is like the same type of quote unquote plan I would have during Form 2 and Form 3. Oh, I want to know the truth about Mary and Pete, so I'm going to go to Pete's classroom, get a piece of white chalk, and write on the blackboard and wait for people's reaction and wait for Pete's facial reaction when he sees the whiteboard, and that's gonna shed some light on the truth or something. That's so fucking lame. That's not gonna do anything, and I'm only embarrassing myself if I'm doing that. It's so naive. It doesn't work like reality doesn't work like that, you know? So yeah, so I was like, hey, Michelle, that's not a good plan at all. So right now, my idea is that we're going to stick with Kuchio's script, and we're just gonna go along with it because there's literally nothing we can do. And then Michelle told Betsy that, and then Betsy told Michelle that Betsy wants to talk to me to straighten me out and tell me you need to protest. Because the moment Kuchio sets this in stone and really forces us to adapt and produce his script, then he will start abusing us and using us as tools. And the fact that we pay tuition to learn as a class, not to be his minions, to produce scripts that he likes, is the reason why we need to protest. And I agree, but that is ideal, but that's not realistic. Realistically, there's nothing we can do. Kuchio is very powerful. There's only one other person more powerful than Kuchio. But the chances of getting to that person is just near impossible. The only two people who are powerful enough to get near that person, that Dr. Grass person, is Betsy herself and Kat. I asked Michelle if this had happened before, and Michelle's like, yeah. I think back in 2016, the college made a short film, and Kat was in the class back then. It was in the olden days. Kat is like one of those people who are from a long time ago. She's historical in the lore of my college. And in her film 33 class, the same happened. The same also happened in the Old Cliff Rising short film, which is pretty funny given the child labor law violation shit that went on on that set. So it's not new, and that is further evidence that whatever we do, it's not gonna work. So Betsy decided to write a whole essay, like 3-4 paragraphs, on the small Discord server between me, Thomas, and her, saying, here's some fucking tea. And she started talking about how we should get money from the Associated Student Body, and also about the Film 33 situation. Which is a little weird. She should have just DM'd me. Not that I don't trust Thomas, but I don't want unnecessary collateral damage. But anyways, I just asked Betsy, hey, have you asked Tova about this? Like, we should get others' opinions first. Okay, now I'm not a fan of protesting against Kuchio. Sure, I don't agree with Kuchio, but I am going to play extremely safe. I am going to play very smart and safe about this. I'm not going to be irrational. I'm not going to do anything super radical. I want to be hidden. I don't want to make myself super important or anything. I don't want to make enemies. I don't want to catch attention. But at the same time, this is just what I think. What others think matters too. So first of all, I want to know what other people think. So I thought of a really good idea, and that is maybe tomorrow we should all go to the campus because tomorrow is flex day. Again, apparently, somehow, for some fucking reason. Meaning that all classes are canceled, which means that tomorrow Film 33 is canceled. Kuchio purposefully set the table read on Friday, right after tomorrow, because we would have little to no time or space to talk about it, so that he becomes a dictator without much of us discussing it. And that's what we need to work against. This is why we need to make good use of the Discord server. So one of the biggest issues is that in the Discord server there are only about 19 people in it, and there are 28 people in Film 33 class, which is a huge issue. That's not everyone. And some of the most important big people, like Birkin, Leia, the Trinity Gang, are not in that Discord group. So if I were to do one thing that would help the situation, I'm going to go to my Canvas, go to the college website that is Canvas, and write an email to everyone in my Film 33, except for Professor Kuchio, about the Discord server, so that everyone would join the Discord server, so that we would talk about this. And that's what I did. And this is the first time in so many years since I've done something actual, concrete, and solid, and it's in the world of drama. I'm always sidelined, and no matter what I do, it's always pointless and ineffective. You know, back in Form 2, I formed a group, a secret organization, Team Cyan, to fight against Bernice. And that's like the last big thing I did. Now this is the new. But I'm tired and I'm hungry for the most part today. So maybe I'm being irrational. But yeah, I actually did send it. I actually just went to Canvas, just fucking sent it to almost everyone individually so that they wouldn't see other recipients. Not like it would matter. But yeah, after I sent it, Michelle was like, "Oh wow, I'm so shocked that you actually did something." Because a lot of people I know are just standing at the side and watching it burn. You broke new ground. And after Michelle said that, now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. What the fuck? But as of now, I still think sending a mail like that to everyone is still in line with my quote-unquote character. If I want to be UPM, if I want to be producer, at some point I have to do this anyways. So it's still in line. But I'm going to try my best to not do that anymore. But yeah, that's that. Another thing is, out of curiosity, I went to the YouTube channel of my college's film program to look at the short films. In particular, I got curious and I looked at the comments, and holy fuck. Comment after comment after comment of ultra positive essays. Oh, this film was beautiful because it's written from the perspective of blah 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 blah, and the character arc is blah 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 blah, and this scene in particular really inspired me, blah blah blah. And they all look like they're AI generated. And the most hilarious thing is, when I looked at the people who wrote these comments, they are real, legit fucking people. And I recognize some of these names. Bree, Shane, who was also in the class, Miles, what? Someone I know very well, Sidlali, Nadia, who's also in the Film 33 class, Rika, what? That one Japanese girl whom I met on the first Film 40 class, who never showed up ever since, Chiara, Leslie's Italian friend, Michelle, the super quiet Indonesian girl. What the fuck's going on? When I took film 2 last semester, Michelle, the Indonesian girl, was in it, and she never spoke a single word. She's super quiet, she's super restrained. How the hell would she write a whole paragraph on multiple short films to praise a short film unless she's forced to? And who is forcing them? None other than Kuchio. So that's pretty wild. Another small update is apparently the reason why Dane knows all this shit about Cuchillo and how abusive and psychotic he is because Red told him all about it, which is really weird because A, I didn't know how Red and Dane are close. B, have Red ever even taken a class with Cuchillo before? I don't think so. I also texted Eric and asked him if he's going to the table read. He said yes. So at least I'm not like the only one. I'm gonna look like an idiot. I think Thomas is going to. But yeah, I think a good portion of the people will be going. So if I were to plant the seed of protest to Benny or Birkin and, organize a gigantic strike, it's not gonna work. Even if I manage to plant the seed of protest, Benny will not be able to convince all 28 of us to do that. It's such an unrealistic plan. So yeah, that's that. I'm too tired and exhausted right now to be all dramatic and epic about this. I just want to go to bed and sleep and wake up naturally tomorrow morning. I did my part. I went to Canvas and actually wrote everyone an email telling them to join the Discord. Hopefully I've made some sort of change. Hopefully I haven't made any enemies by doing that. I specifically didn't send the email to a few people because they are already in the Discord server. And thank God I didn't have to send one to Theo because that would complicate things. And knowing that Leslie had a crush on Theo made me dislike Theo a little bit, just tad bit. But I'm gonna play along with him. When I see him again, maybe this Friday or next Thursday, and he's like, "Oh, Ina, let's hug," I'm also gonna hug him and smile and all that stuff. I can fucking act. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just so tired. I had dinner and it's the pollo asado chicken breast and sun-dried tomatoes and simple salad, and I still don't know why, but I feel so bloated. And it's not even that much food, but I feel something's wrong with my belly right now. I feel really bloated and I feel kind of sick, and I need something refreshing and acidic to wash it with, so thus this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, time now is 12:51 afternoon on March 16th, and my air vent is on for no fucking reason again, no matter how much I touch my lever. Also, my hair is goofy. So yeah, I slept from 2:20 to 12:30, but actually, because of stupid daylight, it's actually 1:20 to 11:30. And you know what? It's fucking amazing. This has got to be one of the best sleeps I've ever had in round 3. I slept for 10 hours straight, not a single interruption. I didn't wake up in the middle at all. I think I did actually, but it was so minor. Yeah, it was such a great sleep and I feel rejuvenated. I feel alive. That is fantastic. So here's what's gonna happen today. Today's a Thursday, and normally there would be film 33. But, because today is flex day again, it means that there will not be any film 33. But that doesn't mean that I won't be going out today. At 6 p.m., I will be heading to the college campus to attend the stupid script writing club meeting. And as much as I don't want to go, I don't want to be bored either, so I will be going. And Thomas will be there. So some discussion will be had about the film 33 situation. Yeah, yesterday last night I wrote an email to a whole bunch of people, maybe 20 people, about this Discord server in the hopes that more people would join so that we would talk about this insanity. And it's working. It's fucking working, actually. So many people have joined. 7 people has joined this server because of me. Yeah, everyone from Jonathan to Red to Bree to Benny to Dominic to Anna, and I believe that one is Liam, um, have joined the server. So that's pretty interesting. Um, yeah, I think whatever I did is already one of the most radical things I've done in this college so far. So I'm just gonna keep quiet from here on out. Um, Michelle probably thinks otherwise. Both Michelle and Betsy probably think this is the end of the world and we need to fight immediately and the world is crashing down, which is kind of true, but honestly, A, I don't have the energy to think in that way anymore. B, I am a realistic person, and I think Crucio will win. Crucio will take his own script and push it down our throats, and that's what's gonna happen. We have nothing to do. We can't do anything about it. But then again, it doesn't depend on what I think. It depends on what everyone thinks collectively. This is why I have to bring in everyone into the group. So there's that. But yeah, not much else. I'm going to do the laundry hopefully today, because I have a lot of dirty clothes. I'm going to really, for real, have to start looking for jobs. So apparently next Tuesday there will be a thing called the job fair on the campus. Maybe I can somehow get hired. But chances are not, because I'm an international student. So my final resorts now is that woman who hooked me up with the actors for cloud busting. I'm gonna just ask her for paid movie jobs, which is ridiculous, but I have no other choice. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll just go onto the streets, go to the wells, and just look for more wells to work for. Um, but yeah, I desperately need money. It's been 1.5 months since I've been back to LA, and I still haven't made a fucking dime. Also, this night owl party apparently is like $25 for entrance, and as much as I would love to go and experience the horrors of Californianisms, I have to pay up too, so gotta work hard and grind on that. I guess, yeah, I guess that's that. Excited for tomorrow. The table read tomorrow is definitely gonna be, um, epic proportions of insanity, like a Game of Thrones wedding scene. Um, but yeah. Not much else. Not much else to discuss. Um, Apparently JT is moving next week because she doesn't want. I mean, her relationship with the host is fine. It's just that she wants to move to K Town because there's a lot of dancing in K Town. So she wants to move there. And usually, if me, Potter, Pepper, and JT are tight together, we would have one final happy dinner there. But it's not gonna happen. It's so pathetic that what we had was so momentary. Like November and December. Like we hung out November once in November and another time in December, I think, and that's it. Um, and it's so momentary, and us four will never come together again. Um, so yeah, that's kind of amazing, honestly. But that's something I have expected already. So that's that. And not much else for today. All right, time now is 10:32 p.m. I just finished dinner. I started cooking at 9, really, so I'm really late to the dinners. But yeah, a couple slices of thin pork chops, really salty, um, sweet corn, and rice, and then I had it with a bit of chili sauce and kimchi, and that's the whole meal. And I would say it's a 5 out of 10 as well. Not really all that enjoyable, to be honest. Um, But yeah, and at some point, like before dinner, I was so goddamn hungry. But yeah, today has been pretty productive so far. I'm so glad I don't have to leave. Oh, I didn't even mention this. So, um, I didn't go out to the script writing club meeting. So at some point at around, um, hold on, I'm getting existential crisis right now because I realized that I'm filming this right now and I may never even rewatch videos like this. So I shouldn't act like, whoa, I haven't told you this because there's no you. Nobody's gonna watch this. Yeah, is this even necessary anymore? I feel like at some point I have to embrace that me doing these vlogs are pointless because I'm not gonna rewatch all of them. I will rewatch them, but not all of them. But anyways, at around so 6:30 p.m. is supposed to be when the script writing club meeting starts, and yeah, at around 5 something ish, actually like 5:50 something p.m. somebody randomly said on Discord that the entire campus is not opened at all. Everything's closed. The cafe is closed. All the classrooms are closed and locked. And so Thomas was originally gonna drive me to school. But I actually was doing the laundry and I didn't have any street clothes to wear because they're all in the washing machine and drying machine. So I was like, okay, maybe at around 6:10 or 6:15 you can pick me up. And Thomas was like, sure. But you never know. Drying machine always takes more time than it estimates to dry your clothes. So suddenly I was talking to Cliff and Cliff was like, oh yeah, somebody said the entire college campus is closed or something. And I'm like, oh really? And then I checked Discord. Someone really did say that. And I immediately texted Thomas saying, hey, maybe the whole campus is closed. And Thomas was like, are you sure about that? Who said that? Typical Thomas. And then a couple minutes passed by, and Thomas called me, gave me a phone call, and was like, okay, somebody wrote me an email saying that the campus is closed. So maybe we should try doing an alternate location thing. What the fuck? Hell no. Why are you so stubborn about this? Let's just do it over Zoom. We represent a college. We're not gonna just go to a nearby Starbucks or something. I asked him, so what's your plan? Like go to a nearby Starbucks or something? And he's like, yeah, what do you have in mind? Bro, that's so fucking stupid. Nobody's gonna do that. So I'm like, let's just do it over Zoom. And then Thomas was still driving at that point, so Thomas told me, okay, so you please go to Discord and tell everyone that it's over Zoom. Please email everyone and tell everyone it's over Zoom, and please say it on Instagram as well. Why must it be me? Fine, let me do it because I'm the VP. I get it. But yeah, so I told everyone that it's over Zoom, and I never left my apartment today. So the script writing club meeting begins, and it's absolute shit. Only 3 new people showed up. Bella showed up in the first couple of minutes and then disappeared, realizing that it's completely pointless. But yeah, it's dead, silent, awkward. In this meeting, we're supposed to be, reading and reviewing scripts, which is very stupid because I know that nobody's gonna offer their script like that. We need to do it better. But of course, Thomas thinks it's stupid. And nobody really offered their script, so Kat instead offered Forrest's script. Forrest is a fat black dude, one of the students in the college who is really annoying, and Leslie hates him. So, yeah, his script is absolute fucking garbage. It's like a parody. It's not even real. Just a couple dudes hanging out, and then a hot lady comes in, and then a couple dudes like, yo, what's up? And then the scene ends. And it's absolute garbage. And then, out of all the awkwardness, the club meeting ends. And I was even chatting with Michelle during the meeting, and then at some point I was taking clothes in and out of the drying machine while the meeting is taking place, and I spoke quite a bit. But yeah, so that's that. I didn't leave the apartment at all. But yeah, aside from that, I filmed and edited a couple reviews. I did the spending school spreadsheet. I am going to do a little college homework, watch 6 episodes of anime, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day because it's very experimental. It's very unplanned. I'm going to go to the college very early to meet up with Evelyn. I told her about it already. She's like, okay, 1:30. And then I'm going to just stay at the main campus for about 4 hours. I'm going to wait there for 4 hours until at 6 p.m. the table read begins. Now, during these hours, a lot of things, multiple things will take place. First of all, Film 32. Friday Film 32 under Professor Antonio will take place, which means Cliff will be there, which is great, because I have things to talk to him about. That night owl fucking thing, I gotta talk to him about it. Yeah, also talk to him about my Love and Death short film and also his short film. Now, because Film 32 tomorrow won't be filming, instead they will be setting up cameras and all that shit. Meaning that Leslie will show up. Probably the most interesting girl I've ever known in the world of LA so far. I hate to say it, but it's true. So she's showing up, and gotta speak to her. Gotta dig something out of her. And then on top of that, Betsy will show up. I don't know around when, maybe around 5 p.m.-ish, but Betsy will show up for the rehearsal for the race relay play, which will not be taking place because Kuchio has somehow pushed it away somehow. But Betsy will show up. And because of that, Michelle has decided to show up tomorrow as well, at around that time. God knows when. So tomorrow, multiple things will take place and happen. And then, of course, at 6 p.m., there's the table read, which is going to be absolutely bonkers, horrifying, insane. It's going to be the biggest revelation and plot twist in human history. And the script will be chosen. Kuchio will reveal what script he chose. And, tomorrow's going to be fucking insane. I'm going to bring a portable charger. I'm going to bring snacks. I'm going to bring a bottle of water. Fuck it. I'm going to bring a bottle of water. I'm going to go to CMD tomorrow like I'm going to the fucking trenches, okay? This is war, guys. This is fucking war. I don't know who will show up for the table read. As far as I know, Thomas will show up. Eric will show up. But I think a lot of other people will show up. I hope Tova shows up because I gotta speak to her about something. One thing I'd like to say is I almost don't realize how dangerous I am right now. Like, dangerous of a position I am in right now. Not dangerous. I'm not dangerous. I'm a nice guy. But I'm in a dangerous position. If the people around me in Film 33 finds out that I and Michelle are friends and I am telling Michelle all this drama, they will persecute me. They will persecute me so hard, and that would be even worse than being persecuted by Kuchio to a degree, because Kuchio, yeah, he has power, but he isn't the type of guy to mentally destroy you. So I need to keep this extremely, extremely quiet. So if I see Michelle tomorrow, but people are around, I'm going to pretend I don't know her. But yeah, at least I did something. I sent everyone an email, and I think 8 people joined the Discord server because of me. I am already doing something in the works. I'm in the works. But yeah, I just don't know. Leslie, why did Leslie have a crush on Theo? That's so bad. He's like the McDonald's of all men. He's so cheap, bruh. I'm also surprised that Leslie has a capability of loving someone of not her own race. I know that's saying something because it's in LA, but she's from China, remember? And I couldn't fall in love with anyone outside of my own race. But that's also kind of untrue because my first crush is half Thai. And if Mary doesn't exist, I would have been interested in Natalie, and Natalie's Singaporean. And it's not a language thing either because I and Natalie converse in English the whole time. Maybe it's a cultural thing. But yeah, that's that. I just think if Leslie could fall in love with Theo just this easily, like, can someone fall in love with me this easily? I mean, I'm trash. And Theo and I were completely different. Theo's super charismatic. But let's be honest here. Theo, while we are very different, I'm like a skinny mustache film idiot. So is Theo, you know? Okay, well, enough of that. I think another tiny thing I would like to mention is that I should be focusing on some life shit right now, like getting employed, something I've been trying to do for the last 1.5 months. So of course there's the college job fair a few days later, which I will definitely for sure attend, but also, so I'm gonna go to the college job fair. If there is no hope in that fair, then what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to DM the woman who hooked me up with the actor. So oh boy, someone's calling me, isn't it? Okay, oh my god, it's that Chinese guy from Photo One. And then there's also the deal with driver's license. I'm gonna start doing that in either late March or early April. I feel like after I'm done with my script for the Virgin, I should start working on the driver's license thing. Yeah, so that's that. But yeah, not much else. Maybe this Saturday or Sunday I'll go to Ralph's or Nijio Market. Maybe this Sunday I'll go to church. And I will also be shaving. All this will be gone. So yeah.